What up? What up? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent. And yesterday, I went 1-1. I did get a little bit lucky. Um, the first half over in the Liberty game did not get there, but the full game number I put in was 167 and a half, landed on 168. So 1-1 day, no harm, no foul, and try to do a little bit better here today. Shout out to Kyle. I did pay attention to that Rays play, and at least last I saw it was bottom of the ninth. Rays were up by 2, so I think they did win, and that was a nice call by him. Um, Starting early today because I got to make some moves. I got to go head back to LA, do some stuff with some family, et cetera, and just need to start a little bit earlier today. So 5-star will join. We're gonna talk, or I'll talk WNBA first. Then I think we'll talk a little bit of NBA. He's also looking at some women's tennis and UFL, I believe. So plenty is on the slate today. Real quick, Jose Perez, appreciate you. Says, yo, let's get it today. Your plug TV is happy with the Reds, and Eric Bonilla is trying to get paid. So let's get to it. What up, Ray D'Amico? First game up, quick and easy. First game up, we have 603, 604, Washington Mystic, Connecticut Sun, and I should have already had this refreshed. This game opened up minus 10.5 for Connecticut. They're now down to 9, even an 8.5 popping up. Total open 158.5, and consensus right now is 157.5. Injury report. Click that there. Shakira Austin, game time decision once again, but she's probable. I know she's still, dealing with coming back from that injury. My bad, excuse me. In Connecticut, you have Mariah Jefferson, game time decision. Everybody else looks like they should be available. So for me, I got to remind everybody, betting NBA, betting WNBA in the beginning of the season. I mean, you're betting on what you expect these teams to be, what you know them to be, etc. from last season, and just from how the roster is put together. We don't have numbers, as far as the recent performing numbers. We need them to play at least 3 games, so we'll have that very soon, and you guys will see that the way to cat throughout the season is a little bit different. But as of right now, we'll go with how we view these teams. And for me, I talked about the Mystics before. It's a group with a lot of, I want to say, veteran players that you can trust. And to get Shakira Austin back, to have her back there, I mean, she makes all the difference for that team. They also have a good coach, son of a good coach, like I always say. So whenever I see the Mystics catching points like this, it makes me, interested in grabbing them. Connecticut, also a really good team, especially dominant at home. Both teams really good starting teams, first quarter, first half, et cetera, et cetera. So I prefer to look at the total, and I know Connecticut is great on defense. Same can be said for the Mystics. And neither team, I mean, Connecticut will get out and run off of a miss if Alyssa Thomas gets it. But other than that, I mean, both teams are comfortable playing slow. So I played under 158.5. There is a 158 at DraftKings, 158.5 at Bookmaker, but consensus is 157.5. I just think this is a slower, lower scoring game. So I'll be on Mystics under. And then the last game for WNBA, this one is quick and easy. Storm and Lynx, we just saw them play. When they played last game, I had the Lynx plus 10 when the Lynx were on the road, just saying that the Storm team is really good on paper. It just might take a little bit of time for them to get all the chemistry and everything together with their new additions. And so they lost that first game outright as a 10-point favorite, I believe. The line got bet down, but they were a 10-point favorite. And now they're facing each other again. They're only a 2.5, 2-point favorite on the road. And situationally, when you have teams playing in that short time frame, home favorite just lost, back on the road as a favorite, it's a spot to bet on that team. So I think it's about 75% back to 2012. I think the Storm, even though they need to, work on some chemistry, they're still good enough to punch back and get a W here. So I take the Storm minus 120 as my play for this game. And that'll wrap up WNBA quick and easy. Let's look at a couple comments before we move on. What up tomorrow? LJ. M. SZA took Sun -9 and also Storm -2. We agree on the Storm. Like to see that. Derek agrees with me that the Mystics are going to struggle to score. I like to hear that. What up, Mark, Hank, and let's move it on over. We got my guy joining the show. What up, 5 star?
What up, brother? Can you hear me good?
I hear you perfectly fine. Let me see how this looks right here.
All right,
There
yeah,
we
there
go.
we go. Good looking. I'm in the car, man. Me and the wife running some errands. I had some stuff, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss this week because last week we had some stuff going on. We're in the middle of getting some things ready for the kids to go to Houston for the summer. You know how they go.
Yeah, it's all good. Life happens, and appreciate you taking the time to join. I know you wanted to talk
Always.
a few different sports. I figured, we'll start with NBA, just because
Okay.
let's get basketball out the way. Then we'll touch some tennis and some UFL. So we have one
Okay.
game on the slate today. That is Knicks and Pacers. It's one I've been looking for you on right here. We talked about it a little bit. I mean, Pacers is game 6. They're at home. They're a decent sized favorite. You think the Pacers can get the job done here tonight?
Yeah, because we've seen a pattern, Ski, even like last night with Minnesota. Blew out, bro. Hard to blow out. I just think that Indiana be really focused tonight. You saw that Carlisle set the starters for primarily the whole entire fourth quarter. So you had a situation where those guys could sit there, steam on it, think about how the Knicks were doing them and how they were blowing them out, and now they come back home where they've been really good uh, overall for the season, but for sure in the playoffs, man. They're 5-0 at home in the playoffs. And also, these teams are very close, closer than most people think. Did you know that they're 49, 41, and 3, both teams against the spread this season? So the Knicks and the Pacers are very, very close. Um, Good morning, man. They're pretty much like the same team, man. If you look at it when it comes down to breaking down their numbers against the spread. And so that's with that said, I got to ride with the Pacers to get this done. They're in a desperate situation, and as I said, they're 5-0 at home. I know you on the other side, but I'm sitting there. I got in my pocket. You know, I got the plus 215 before the series started. I got plus 275 after they lost game 2. I mean game 1, and I got plus 375 after they lost game 3. So I got a lot of heat in my pocket, but I did hedge it out. I'm already where I can make a profit or break even. I hedged it when it was 2-2. You know I'm a smart man. You know I'm not going to sit up there and take all that liability without hedging. So I did do that. But man, I just like the Pacers. They're 32-15 at home this season, man. The Knicks are a good road team. But another thing to look for, Ski, remember we've been talking about even 2 weeks ago before the series started, it was going to be a war of attrition. And you see the Knicks are breaking down. And you remember I texted you about the ticket I had with the live points in game over under on the player points scored, and you saw how Thibodeau still had Brunson in the game. Man, he played 42 minutes in that last game. Hart played 39 minutes, although they were up about 20 to 30 points the whole second half. I feel like he should have got more rest for those guys, and I think it's going to turn to a situation where in the second half their legs catch up with them, man. They have a short bench. I don't know if McBride can continue to perform at the level he has, and especially on the road. He'll be the starter again. As we know, OG Anunoby is out for the series. So I just think that the Pacers have more manpower and they have, more motivation at home. So tonight I think that they'll get it done. And I'll lay the 5.5 because as we know, 6 is a key number on the road. They usually 5 to 6.
Well, I agree that it is a absolute, pacer spot as far as desperation. They got to win, all those things like that. I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback on something we talked about from 2 weeks ago. We
Uh-huh.
said the longer the series goes on, is going to favor the Pacers, and it was looking that way for a while. But the Knicks came out in that last game, and they didn't look too tired. Um, they smoked them by 30
Yeah.
easily. And Hart, I mean, he usually
Right.
played 48 minutes. 38 minutes, that's a break for him. And now this is the first game in the series
Right.
when they got 2 days rest. So this is as rested as the Knicks gonna be. In my opinion, the Pacers, they gotta play fast. They gotta win by margin because if it's a close game at the end, I'm trusting Brunson. So I take the Knicks plus the points.
Yeah,
I'll be on the
and
other side.
likewise, that's why I'm laying the spread. That's why I'm laying the spread, Skid. If it's close, the Knicks gonna win.
I agree. I agree with that. I think I should have probably picked the Knicks money line then, but I agree with that point. So we're on opposite sides for this game, and you guys, you heard the debate for both sides. You can pick who you want to roll with. Um, let's move over to a little bit of tennis. Let's do that next.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sabalenka, I've definitely heard this name. I definitely know about her, and you like her today.
Well, she plays in the morning. It's about 8 a.m. 6 time over in Rome, in Italy, playing too late. It's the biggest rivalry right now in tennis. I love to see these compete against each other. It's the world number one in Swiatek against the world number two with Sabalenka. Man, they just played 2 weeks ago in Madrid for the finals, and it was a classic. Man, it went 3 sets. It ended up Swiatek was able to pull out the win 9-7 in the tiebreaker. But if you watched the match, you saw that Sabalenka had 3 match points during the game. She's just a fierce competitor. She's better on hard court than on clay. Iga's the queen of clay. Like, no one's beating on her clay. She has so many French Open titles at a young age, and she continues to shine on clay. But the one person who gives her a lot of pushback is Sabalenka, just because Sabalenka is such a great competitor, man. Even though it's not her surface, she's going to play her best, and she's going to give her best anytime she's facing Iga. So I got to take those games because I just don't see her smoking her like that in any of the sets in order to get to 4.5 games. That means she would have to win like 6-2, 6-3, or maybe get one set where she's completely smokes her and gets up maybe like 6-2 in one set. I don't see that happen. Sabalenka is serving really well. She does a really good job at protecting her serve. And Swiatek on the other side, she's the best woman in the whole world at breaking other ladies' serve, but she struggles on her serve sometimes. Sometimes she struggles to keep her serve. And I think the Sab will be able to get a couple breaks, keep it close. I think Sabalenka could even win this match straight up, but we're going to be, safe and take the plus 4.5 games. A lot of revenge factors on Sab's side because, as I said, she lost her title that she was holding at Madrid. She lost it. She was the defending champion, and she lost to Swiatek 2 weeks ago. So I know that she'll be trying to win this final. She's a real competitive girl. Let's just be on Sabalenka plus 4.5. And if you want to put just a little bit on the money line, you can catch Sabs at like plus 270. You'll never catch her like that, man. She's the type of lady who's, when she's playing women, she's usually minus 250, minus 300. So this is a great value bet if you want to take Sabalenka for the money line, but go heavy on the plus 4.5 games.
They're asking what's the juice on the 4.5 games?
I was saying minus 115 or minus
Okay.
120. Yeah, minus 115, minus 120. I would not be surprised if it goes down to 4. So if you guys can catch the 4.5 now, please go on and put it in, lock it in, because I've seen some 4s offshore on like Bookmaker.
All right, good stuff. And guys look like they're loading up so they can get on that tennis. Matt, all of the above says tennis is very profitable. So he's with you. He loves that tennis. And T Will
Oh,
says
this morning
you got to watch that
I ate
Challengers
for it.
movie.
Yeah, Challengers is beautiful too. They're on it right with the Challengers. I actually got this morning I hit Tabillo first set at plus 180. He ended up losing the match to Verber, but it's no better bet to me in the whole book. It's the best market is tennis, man. Even if you're going live, you could catch like for instance Verber. He was minus 200 before the match started, loses the first set, goes into a tiebreak against Tabillo. You could have caught him at plus 250, and he's clearly the better player. So if you watch tennis and you like to bet tennis, it's a really good market. There's a lot of favorable spots you can find in tennis. And there's the guy who said the Challengers is really good. I love hitting the Challengers, man. I bet who was it this morning? Marchenko. I bet Marchenko this morning. He won against Sue out in Top High, and he was plus 155. So it's a lot of good value in tennis, man.
I agree. You just got to know what you're looking for. And
Yep.
we're here to learn. So, well, before we move it on over, there was one comment I wanted to speak about just to Justin. He says, prisoner of the moment from what you saw last night. I am not if you're referring to me. I mean, I bet the team after they lost by what 40 points, 30 points, whatever it was. I don't care about necessarily what happened in the last game. We have one more up for today. It's a little bit of football. The
Yeah.
Renegades once again, and I don't know how to say it, Brahams,
The Brahms.
Brahms.
Brahms are boots. It's a Texas thing, Skee.
Okay.
Those
You
are
got, you
boots.
got.
Yeah, they call it. I believe they're boots. Boots are hat. While I'm talking all that, no, I believe it's boots. Yeah.
Well, you liking the underdog in this game. Tell us why.
Yeah, they're desperate. The San Antonio is the better all around team. But the thing about San Antonio is they're in a good position right now. They're tied in second place with the St. Louis team. But Arlington is the defending XFL champs. As you remember, the XFL and the USFL, they combined and they came together to do the UFL, the United Football League. Arlington has only won one game this year. They've been in a lot of close games. They lost so many games, less than 5 points. It's ridiculous. I believe every loss was that. They've been really good. They just couldn't get the job done. And the main problem they were having earlier in the season where they couldn't protect Luis Garcia, who's their quarterback. He's a really good passer. If they give him time, he has weapons on the outside. Bob Stoops is their coach, and he runs an offensive-friendly, type of scheme. So I think that the Renegades are able to keep it close. The key is, can they stop the run? The Brahams really run the ball well, but the Brahams on their backup quarterback, their starting quarterback Chase Garbers, who was really good at moving that offense. Used to play at Cal. He got hurt. Now they have Quinn Dormady in. Quinn Dormady is not nearly the quarterback that he is. He was benched last week. They've been struggling passing the ball with Dormady as the quarterback, but they have a great running game. Running back Lovett has really done a really good job. They're really good in the trenches because they have a former NFL coach as their head coach. So he preaches about them being really good in the interior line. So they run the ball better than any team in the US UFL. Excuse me. So I'm going to be with the Renegades just simply because they're more desperate. They're still in the playoff hunt. Miraculously, with 1-6, they can still make it as a wild card. So they have to win out to have a chance. I think that they're going to give their best in this game, and they're hot. Last game, they scored, I think, 38 points or something like that. Put up a lot of fireworks on the road last week, and I think that they're able to do it again. They're able to score enough points to keep this game within the number.
Ray D'Amico agrees with you. Says San Antonio can't score. He likes Arlington +4.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about this. I gotta trust you guys. I'll roll with the Renegades as well, plus the 4 points. I'm gonna be right on the road just like you. So after this show, I'm heading to my folks in LA. So quick and
Okay,
easy
safe
show.
travels on the road, Skee. Safe travels, man.
Appreciate you. Before I let you go, I want to ask you if there's anything you would like to promote and maybe a play out of the ones we talked about that you like a little more than the rest.
Yeah, I just, you guys follow me at 5 Star in Vegas, spell out the 5 FIVE. I try to give as much information as possible. I continue to come on here with you, Skee, during the summer, and we're gonna keep giving out these winners to everyone. You guys that have any questions about joining my private group, you can always DM me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I appreciate all you guys' support. Let's just keep winning. We're in the middle of tennis season, man. And it's tennis on every day. New tournament starting tomorrow in the morning. Some qualifying rounds that I can't wait to attack. So it's really good until we get to the fall. Then it's football season. It's my time again. Your time is leaving right now, Skee. So you got another month of NBA. And then no boys allowed. No bank account is finished. And I'll get on you with the WNBA. Actually, last night I took Caitlin Clark to go under 20 and a half, and that cash pretty easy. I know they're gonna beat her up. They want to show her that the WNBA is not college. So I'm gonna be fading Indiana a lot in the WNBA. But as far as in my best play for tonight, it's gonna have to be Sabalenka plus 4.5 games. I just trust the competitiveness of Sabalenka. I think that her and Swiatek really know each other well. And I think that Swiatek even knows that this is the one lady who's really trying to be number one and take her title from her. Even though she's on clay, I think Sabalenka can get this one done, but she can for sure keep it in within the plus 4.5 games. So we'll be on Sabs at plus 4.5 games for my best bet.
I like it, and I'll share my best bet really quick. And also, you guys know you find out my work at wagertalk.com. I'm already loaded up for the weekend, all the NBA games. My best bet for today, I told you guys, it's a situation in the WNBA. Seattle just lost as a home favorite versus the Lynx. They get some quick revenge. Teams in that situation playing within 5 days, they win 75% of the time, dating back to 2012. So my best bet will be Seattle Storm took the -120. I would take a -2.5 or the money line, whichever one you prefer. 5-star. Appreciate you taking the time to join the show. I will get with you again next week. And for everybody in the chat, we appreciate you guys watching. So best of luck if you tell. Good luck, everybody, on all your action. Peace.
Best of luck, everybody.